take two of the show. You guys missed a great one. We just did half of a show already, and but it was a good intro, probably the best intro that I've ever done for Alpha Clinic. So for those who don't know, I'm at Big Game James _36. This is Big Games BS, part of Dead Media Group, presented by AlphaClinicOnline.com. AlphaClinicOnline.com is the go-to website for all things performance enhancement. You know something I'm thinking about? I'm gonna get with Christina. We're gonna shoot a commercial or something like that, or strip strip something from one of them segments that we do on the TV show. And to break up the show sometimes, maybe we could just start sliding in those, and that could be a commercial for it. So like we've gone pretty good. Break that up. That gives us a chance to get all of our other shit together and whatnot. We just doing a show this is a carryover from when I did the sports. There is no pre-show meeting. Y'all get to be here live. But Alpha Clinic is one of those important things, especially for me coming up here into this first quarter of the year. This first quarter of the year is going to be so busy for me that I'm almost ready for football season so I can slow down. And what do I mean by that? So we just did we'll talk about my first ever 7-on-7 tournament. We'll talk about that here shortly. And we'll show you some clips from the weekend. We have Battle Miami, so we have a really, really big one going on this weekend that I got to do logistics and a whole bunch of shit for. Is it next week? No, in 2 weeks, I will be in Mobile, Alabama. I've never been to Alabama before. I am fucking terrified, just so y'all know. Like, I don't know what's in Mobile, Alabama. All I know is eyes on the prize and what the things that I saw as a African American studies history major. So I'm a little nervous. I know they got really good trees out there. So hopefully that'll go well. I got funny stories about how that whole credentialing process went. Then after that, we got a 7-on-7 tournament in the Villages that I got to go directly after that to New Orleans for the Super Bowl, that I have to come back that next weekend. We have Pylon Orlando on VD weekend. Is it? Then what do I have after that? Oh, then after that we have the combine. I have to go to Atlanta for the Sevens tournament, and then I have the combine. Then as soon as I get back from the combine, we've got Pro Day. Excuse me, that's a lie. We don't have Pro Day. We have FSU first practice. Then after that, we have FSU's first padded practice, and every year I go to those two practices. Then after that, I've got FSU Pro Day, and then I get a little bit of a break until the spring game, in which we will be doing the family reunion tailgate for the spring game that we do each and every year. To bring everybody together and to try to have an optimistic tailgate, and also to get some of these things kicked off, because as I have told everybody, we are going to have a crazy ass tailgate for the Alabama FSU game. It's either going to be the greatest tailgate. Oh, I don't give a fuck if we win or lose. It's the first game. Everybody's going to be hyped. Everybody goes to the first game. It's after that like I lost all the money. So what we're going for is we had the LSU. The last time we played the SEC team, I had 1,000 people in Orlando, and it was glorious. It was really, really good, and there were things that were really, really bad. I think I got this thing figured out. I want 1,000 people at the top of lot 19. I'm going to basically make it a carnival. Like, we'll have food, we'll have beverages. There will also be things that you guys can buy, because you guys know Cheese will be involved, Freddie will be involved. Peachy Bros will be involved. So we'll have barbecue, we'll have all the food, but some of y'all want y'all food early, so we will have vendors up there that y'all can go buy food from. But I'm also going to try to get some cats to be able to that you can buy stuff from. We had Pick TLH last time. I'm gonna try to get them to come back. And we're going to make it like I'm going to make it dope. I'm going to make it, that's all I can say is I'm going to make it dope. We're going to have a whole weekend with it. So, Hold on. But yeah, so all that's going crazy. Being the general manager and the logistical coordinator for a national 7-on-7 team is very, very stressful, but it's also very, very fun. So basically, now that we got all of we're inside the world's greatest cigar lounge, Goodfellas Cigar Lounge, which we will be doing more things here in 2025 from. What I need my people to do, y'all are doing a better job of coming to YouTube, right? And watching the YouTubes. What I need us to do a better job of is I need y'all to get out and get active. I need y'all to come to the lounge. Let me know in the comments, and we're going to start putting out here, what are some events during the week that if you live locally in Jacksonville or if you're here on the weekend, what are some things that you would like to see that would get you to come to a cigar lounge? Like if we did an adult game night, well, not that adult, but like just adults and doing a game night. It could get a little risky, but like we're not getting naked or nothing like that. I know my fellas want my fellas gonna want strippers. We could do that, but you got to be a member. We got to have NDAs and shit. But ladies, if there's a couple of y'all that like strippers, we could do that too. But we're looking to expand it. We're looking to grow it. We're looking to have fun. We're looking to have our memberships will have a concierge service. So like in the fall, we'll make sure you have access to tickets and access to different things like that. But what are some things that you guys will like? Those just hit us in the comments, hit us in the chat, or hit me offline. We really want to make this. We want you guys throwing parties here. We want to have cool things that we got going on. So outside of that, I guess Jay, to give me the breakdown of what the show is going to be. Oh, we didn't start off with the prayer. The prayer. We got to get the prayer going. The prayer been working out. I know I'm a cynic, but hey, specific prayers work. This prayer is what I'm going to give all props to. That this prayer is why we're going to have increase here in 2025. We're going to call it, there's Sierra's prayer that fucked up Russell's life. There's a sinner's prayer that the one gospel singer said. We're going to call this the Samoan prayer. But one and
Thank you, God, for another day. Great on
you also got that bright. Oh, my bad. Am I on mute or I don't fuck it. Oh, well. We'll get the lighting fixed. We got that bright ass light. Oh, look at that thing. Remember, I think they always put it on. I don't use them no more because the Fat Kid deals. Don't they have the green screen light combo thing?
Oh yeah. They all have those the green screen and light. We don't use the green screen much. We can use the light.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Just see what we got a little increase going on right now. We got a couple things. If some of these things pop off, man, life will be a little bit funner. But what we got, Jaden?
First thing.
Ooh, my bad. Before we do that, I just came up. It's not a good idea, but we're gonna like for the big games, gridiron. We should do our recruiting thing. We should call it on 3-6.
Ooh.
Since on 3 is the new popular thing. Just take a play off of that with the recruiting on 3-6. Just change the logo a little bit. I actually have somebody who made an on 3-6 logo. So like we could go find that. My bad. But go ahead. What we got going?
So we're gonna start off the show with the MFTK/Domo tune-up recap. And then we're going to touch on some Mandarin U players and a coach in the Navy All-American Bowl. And they're going to touch up on that game as well. Then going to transition into college. We had a celebration yesterday for FSU fans and for Bobby Bowden fans specifically. Then we know we're going to have to harp on the Kyren Lacy incident. Man, if y'all haven't heard that one, you are in for something. Then we're going to recap the Ohio State versus Texas game. Then we're going to touch on the Notre Dame versus Ohio State national championship that's coming up transition to the NFL, we're going to mention the Jaguars head coaching trackers, the coaches that have completed interviews and that who are due for interviews. Talk about Mike Vrabel getting the head coaching position in New England. Then we have the NFL Wildcard weekend to recap with the Chargers versus Texans, Steelers versus Ravens, Broncos, Bills, Packers versus Eagles, and the show-stopping down to the wire game last night with the Commanders versus Bucks, and then the remaining NFL schedule for these playoffs. And then we're going to finish off with our big games BS segment, where we have one quick segment, but we will get to our MFTK tune-up recap video right here. I'll put it up on the monitor so you guys can see what we're talking about. And James will just give a little brief introduction. So after the video, James, I'll put up the pictures of the national and regional schedules, and then you can touch up on that as well. So let me get this restarted for y'all. And then yeah, so I'm gonna press play, and then y'all enjoy. And James, if you want to talk behind the video, yeah, feel free to do so.
It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and what we're here is at our tune-up meet as we get into the 7-on-7 world. Then Media Group, we are partnered with Domo Sports. We got some of the best athletes in Northeast Florida, Southeast Georgia. We got 3 teams out here at this tune-up meet. We chop people up. We're finna go out here and see some guys have a good time. So guys have a good time, man. I thought we already got big plays going on already.
That's my pilgrim right there, Cade. That's my beef fly right there. That's Tampa Bay Tech. Damn, what's my guy's name on? He didn't even listen to the show. That was my guy. Is that who? In my organization, we have 14U and a 12U. And so that's my 14U, my other 18U, and my 12U schedule right there, our regional schedule. My 18U team, the team MFTK, like the motherfuckers beat Domo. So that was crazy. But we didn't, now in our defense, we didn't have all our cats. But shout out to my guy Lenny James and my guy Pat. Got those guys coached up really, really good. I expect big things. And when I talked to them, I was walking around that bitch like a general manager. Because the Domo team, we had a couple guys that are still on the fence that we wanted to try to make. We wanted to kind of check out. A couple guys, they're not gonna make it. They just did not perform at a high enough level to be on that team, and I don't even know if they'll be able to be on our other MFTK team. But we got some cats over there. Let me just read off. This is the team we're bringing to Miami, and as Colby is text messaging me, which is Bryson's dad, while I'm recording, and it's like, everybody, again, that's the hard part. So we just picked up a 4-star quarterback commit. By Jaron Hewley. He's the quarterback at Cardinal Newman. And what I'm going to do is this is me making the announcement of the team. We got more cats that we're going to plug each other. We have one kid who's going to be playing, because his juniors can play in all-star games. The young man's playing in the Polynesian Bowl. You get to go to Hawaii. I ain't fucking mad at it. Flourish King. We also have a couple that are recovering from injuries. But we try to tell them to still come, but they can't be on the roster. We only have 24 on the roster. But a kid who's been impressing me and has gotten really, really better, and I can't wait to see some good things from him at Mandarin next year. It's going to be exciting. And my guy, Knox Ennis. Knox was doing this thing on my other MFTK team, so that I could show people you could go from my team MFTK. The fastest way, if you're not on the national team, to get on the national team is to be on team MFTK. I kind of control the purse strings on that. If you're good enough, I'll pull you up. But shout out to Knox. We had Wingo from St. Augustine High School, 4-star wide receiver. We got Cold Ass Pilgrim, which is Swahili for Cade Fryer. Y'all saw my white boy. If you're an FSU guy, you know Fryer is synonymous with cold ass white wide receiver. In that name, we got B-Fi. We got Prince John, who's a 3-star wide receiver. Honor Johnson coming from San Diego, 5-star utility athlete. Trenara Roberts, a 4-star number 1 running back in the class of 2026. Yeah. We got King Walker, Eli Johnson, Deron Foster, and Marcus Fennell might not be able to play this year. He just had he had mouth oral surgery. And then we got George Lamons, 5-star wide receiver from, I believe, Valdosta. So if you're those are counting, that's 3 5-stars, a 4-star, and a bunch of 3-stars. Like, that's a jam-packed fucking wide receiver and a 4-star quarterback and a 2028 quarterback with tons of offers. So we ain't bullshitting on offense. Defense, we got Turn Up. His name is Elijah Caldwell, but we call him Turn Up. Trevin Pink from Jacksonville Impact. Trevin Pringle, Cam Brown, both of them are from Camden County, if I remember correctly. Troy Pittman from Nebraska coming in. I make sure I said this right. He's coming in. Eric Jenkins from Ocala. Arif Evans is from Nebraska. It's a safety. And I got to work on my Mandarin kids. I need Tamaj and Sharif to be out there. I want Brody Jennings. We're going to work on flipping Brody Jennings from South Florida Express. We coming to kick ass, man. We want the smoke. As I told one person, they're like, you talking a lot of shit. I'm like, yeah, worst case scenario, you whoop my ass. But what if you don't whoop my ass? What if I whoop your ass? Imagine the amount of shit we're going to talk after that. So, but all the jokes aside, it's very, very fun. It's a different world. We do not have Jay McMillan on my team. If Jay McMillan is cold and he looking for a producer that's not all up in the videos, all up in the songs, have him reach out. But we've had people reach out from everywhere. And I'm absolutely cool with it. It's going to be fun. This would be and then I also got my first taste of it as a coach. Got my ass whooped 2 games. Won 2 games, got my ass whooped 2 games. And I'll be taking my son and them down there. I told them we're not afraid of getting the asses whooped. We going out there to learn to compete. And that's the biggest thing is like we know what's out there so that we can know what we're going to be able to do. So fun times. It's really all for my son. I'm going to build something for him. Both of my sons and my nephew and everybody else who wants to come in. We're going to create an atmosphere here at Jacksonville so people know it's not just a Passover. It's not just a kind of hot spot for talent. This is the place for the top talent. So cool for that. So that was my weekend when it comes to that. Make sure you check out Big Games Gridiron, formerly Mandarin University. We will have all kinds of stuff this season. We got player interviews. Well, it'll also be on the Den Media Group channel. Maybe we should do a reel and try to have them go over to the Gridiron. Does that make sense? So, like, we make a 1-minute clip. So, how long are the interviews?
They're max like 15, 20 seconds.
Oh, they're not long anyway. So, okay. Well, we'll put them on both of those. But any of the long stuff that it'll be on Big Games Gridiron. I want you guys to go like that page because, again, the goal is to get that to 1,000 and we'll start streaming high school games from there. So, because you have to be a member to get the stream. But bottom line is we want to be able to do those things. I don't want the streams to have to come from my Den Media Group channel. We are going to cover prep sports at a high level since I have access to these kids. So, and if you're one of my new age media guys, since we haven't talked, I'll put it in our group chat. If you would like some opportunities to interview a couple of these cats, you just let me know. I'll make sure we put you on the books. All right.
Yeah, so what I have on the screen for you all is the national schedule for the MFTK 7-on-7. So, yeah, you can see right here we got some notable dates and places with battle happening in Miami, January 18th. Then you got Pylon in Orlando, February 15th. Super 7, February 22nd. Battle New Orleans. And then you got Pylon DC. So that is the national schedule. And then we got the regional schedule right here. So battle again on January 18th. Then you got the Villages on February 1st. Pylon in Orlando. Then you got Champ 7-on-7 in Orlando, March 8th, and Battle New Orleans, March 15th. So make sure to tap in if you want some of the best competition in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. So yeah, and we'll get into some Mandarin University highlights with this. The Navy All-American Bowl occurred this weekend, and there's some notable faces from the Jacksonville area. First things first, man, look at this great pick. This is going in the Mandarin Hall of Fame. You got head coach, Coach Bullock, and then you got Drake and Jamie posted up right here to show up and show out for the Mandarin University.
So we said it's just Drake being Drake. It was actually 2 coaches that were there. We just don't I forgot DeMarcus Ganaway, our wide receiver coach, coached in this game as well. It's only a lot of people like to talk a lot of shit. I don't see no itchy bams. I don't see any other school represented in the manner in which Mandarin is represented. And we will probably have 2 guys in that game next year. And then, we're going to have the year after that. Probably 2 guys in that game at the year after that. And if Trammell wasn't hurt, we would have 3 guys, but we would also have a state championship. But Drake and Jamie didn't just play. They were both starters. And Coach Bullock was the D-line coach. You guys heard us. Damn, we need to strip that interview with him talking about win and put it on the gridiron. That's who Toby was talking about, the D tackle at Florida State. I need to make sure Toby got my son some sign shit from Win. But again, great coaching. If y'all look at what we're trying to build over here at Mandarin University and the coaches using what they have, their networks, and then you tell me what staff is doing that kind of stuff. I'm gonna put that on Facebook just so people can get mad at me. But again, you can get mad or you can encourage your people to do the exact same thing. That's all I'm saying.
So then your boy Jamie caught a touchdown. It was going crazy for his touchdown celebration. So I'm going to share it with you all. So
I hope NBC doesn't fuck us over with after just trying to show my dog some love.
So we got this right here, Jamie showing out for us. So yeah, stay tuned and enjoy the video. Wide open.
That boy's so damn funny. Them boys was having a good time, man. And he ain't had to go too far after that. He's in Texas, so miss him already, man.
So we got this Coach Bullock walkout, man. Looking clean.
We gotta get him the rich homie Quan. I'm telling the man what I walk through. I'm saying what I walk through. Go. So that's good. Go. You know what's funny? Toby is a big stickler on how you dress for the games, where there's a lot of coaches in Florida who will let us wear khaki shorts or you wear whatever you want to wear as long as it's team gear. Toby is a strict, you must wear khaki pants. Like Toby don't play about not wearing it. So I'm happy to see him in his element with people taking that, because clearly the only thing he doesn't make us do, because he doesn't offer us team shoes. So that's cool. Ooh, hold on. We got some can we read some stuff here? Top performers per Rivals. Rankings implication from the Navy All-American game. 5-star wide receiver Jamie French. Jamie French accounted for East lone touchdown in the Navy All-American game as he blew past defensive backs with conviction. The 5-star Texas signee is among the most polished pass catchers in the loaded 2025 class. The future Longhorn has a massive catch radius and extremely sure hands, and he came up with some acrobatic grabs and tough combat catches throughout the week. French is one of the blue chip receivers we believe has the highest floor. And that is what the write-up is about a Mandarin University alum. Yeah. All I'm saying is Mandarin U. And I'm going to shout it out on my channel. No matter how big I get, I'm coaching that Mandarin as long as Toby Bullock is there. So, yeah.
Huge shout out to the guys from Mandarin U and at the Navy All-American Bowl. So now we'll transition into FSU. Not too much player news, but if you guys did not know, yesterday was and I quote, the 46, or excuse me, let me make sure I'm doing my math right. 48 years ago. Yeah. FSU hired Bobby Bowden. Man, one of the historic college coaches, and if you can see right here from these pictures right here, his resume is just completely insane. So he has 21 bowl wins. That is the second most among all coaches. And then he has 377 career wins, which is the second most in FBS history. 2 national championships in 93, 99. And he has 14 straight top 5 finishes from 87 to 2000. And then James sent me this picture of Bobby yesterday. And man, he's just looking clean as always. So
Bobby just drip. Bobby's drip was unappreciated until now. Like Bobby with the starters jackets and the glasses and even this, man. This looked like what's that? Was it Dallas? What's the old with J.R. Ewing and all them? Like this is that good. Like he got that J.R. swag right there. But nah, Bobby's a cold pill, man. I miss him every day. Was it Dallas? It was like yeah. Who shot? Hey man, I've never watched it, but the shit made me want to watch it now because they're playing some of the clips. And he like I guess him and his wife had some stuff going on. She was like, which one of your whores are you going to be with? Doesn't matter. Any of them are more interesting than you are. And like his comebacks was crazy. She's like, I'm going to leave you. She's like, you can leave. And I'm taking the son. He's like, I said, you can leave. You're not taking my son anywhere. Don't you know I would waste no expense like to keep my house? Like, yo, he was cutthroat. I love it. Like that'd be one again. I can't because like if we're gonna reinvent shit, like I'm tired of all of the Love and Hip Hop stuff, right? Because that's supposed to be reality TV. They did the Wonder Years, and I heard the Wonder Years remake with the black people was amazing. Let's do instead of calling it Dallas, just call it Houston and do a remake with black people. I think that should be fire, man. Just my whole stuff, but like JR was wild, man, from what I be seeing. But yeah, man. But shout out to. He's the GOAT. I think if you were the best when you were alive or when you were doing it, you get to go down as the GOAT. I think Nick Saban is arguably the best now. Not even arguably. He got all the championships. But I think if Bobby had the college football playoff or even the BCS, Florida State would have more national championships. But it is what it is, man. That man changed my life, so I appreciate him, love him to death, miss him.
So yeah, my bad. When I introduced it, I don't know if I said the correct date or years, but it was 48 years ago to this day. From yesterday, so 1976, 48 years ago. And James, one of the questions I have for you is, what is your favorite Bobby Bowden story that the fans may not know?
Oh man, by the way, too, I was talking with Chris Ricks over the weekend. We're gonna get the Dope Boy stuff going back again, but I talked with Chris, Travis Johnson. I didn't get low book. Trying to check on my guys to make sure that they're okay with what. Hold on one second. Hello? All right, yeah, I ain't having no surgery, but all right, cool. But yeah, the old man drip was impeccable. So, but my favorite Bobby Bowden story. So, there's a lot of them, but I'll just say this is when we beat Florida in the comeback in 2003. I had a broken hand. My right hand was broken. My left hand had got stepped on and was severely swollen, and I knew my right labrum was torn. Both my shoulders were fucked up. But I'm out there playing like a crash. I'm out there still being a crash test dummy. And I miss Channing Crowder. Like, I just try to go block him. Absolutely miss his ass on the goal line. Billy's cussing me out. I'm tired. I'm dejected. I'm in pain. I go over to the sideline, sit my ass on the bench. I put my helmet down. Bobby walks over to me and says, now, Coley, listen, son. This is what I need you to do. You're doing a good job, but I know you're hurt. But listen, Coley. What I need you to do is, you see those guys over there, they in blue. Those guys in blue, what I want you to do, son, is I want you to run full speed and pick anybody in blue that you can hit. Just hit one of them guys in the blue jersey. Just hit one of them. And try to shoot your hands, son. And that's what they call blocking. If you do that, we're going to be okay, all right, son? And I look at him like, man, no fucking shit. Really? You think you think I wasn't trying to block the motherfucker? Like, it's just stuff like, no matter what you guys say, Bobby Bowden is considered a genius or a GOAT in this sport. And the game was simple as fuck to him. And what I've learned is the people who actually, and I learned this from Neil deGrasse Tyson and Albert Einstein, if you can't explain it to a fourth grader, you really don't know it. Like the basics of it, you can't explain it to a fourth grader, you don't know it. You're just talking to just talk. And Bobby, every fucking week, made that shit simple as fuck. But it was cool. And I'll say this, when he knows your name, it makes you feel like $1 million because you know how many black number 36s Bobby Bowden has seen in his life? I forget kids who I coach currently. He remembered me, and that shit made me feel like I'm in the FSU Hall of Fame for that. But did Lil Crow committed already?
No, I think they're just saying you getting the call about the Crow.
Oh yeah, I think they're gonna do it the right way. It's supposed to happen today though. I don't even have Aaron. I don't have Aaron's number in this phone. I gotta get it. I'll get with my dog in a minute. But anywho. But yeah, that's my Bobby story right there. We got plenty. I could talk about Bobby for days. Them 4 years was probably the most influential 4 years of my life.
Huge shout out and RIP to Bobby, and man, your legacy is still going on for sure. So we gonna keep talking about college, and before we get into Kyren Lacy, like I mentioned, I forgot this happened over the weekend. I'm pretty sure this post January 12th. So yeah, yesterday, and it's coming out of Colorado, and I know this guy is very, very popular among his niche and among his space, but Colorado hired a new head strength and conditioning coach with that boy Swasey, and he was a head strength and conditioning coach at Miami for 15 years and also had a stint at FIU, and he has trained a number of players like Alvin Kamara, and we know how lethal and crucial he can be on the football field. So, man, Deion's hiring the right people is what it seems, because Kamara had nothing but good things to say about Coach Sway. So, man, I'm just ready for them boys to get their weight on, get their weight up in Colorado, and they're gonna be looking real scary with this guy. So, James, you think this is a good pickup for Colorado?
Yeah, I think it is. I think they also have. It's funny how one of their strength coaches is a guy who interned with me over a decade ago. He played fullback at Clemson. He also played fullback for the Jack Sharks. His name was Rendrick Taylor. Me and Rendrick follow each other on IG now. And it was so funny because, Facebook has On This Day, and we were doing like a football clinic at the gym. Shit, this was 2011, 2012. So where we in now? So that like 12 years ago? 13, Jesus. So, but then he, rose up the ranks, and he was an assistant strength and conditioning coach at Colorado last year. But just to see this guy right here, I remember playing against those Miami teams that he was the SSC for, and he those guys never went to combine training. They always came back to Miami to work out. So he, from a pure sports performance standpoint, he's a really, really good coach. He's a really, really good trainer. Really, what a lot of people don't understand is training is almost less about what you know mentally and more about how you can motivate and mentally, the mentally being able to unlock a player's physical capacities. If you can convince a kid that is skipping rope and chewing bubble gum at the same time is going to make them run a faster 40, and they really lock in and wholeheartedly believe it, they will get faster. So much about sports is mental and motivation that it is about actual the physical ability to do some things. So shout out to him. Yep. I love seeing, and I don't like Deion per se, personally, but I do like what Deion is doing. So shout out to him.
Huge shout out to the program over there in Boulder. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we got to end this. Well, not really end this, but end the happiness segment. And we're going to get a little touchy subject right here. I hate to talk about it, but it happened in the sports world. So we're going to have to cover it and give our opinion / stance on this. Now, Miles, did you hear about the Kyren Lacy story?
No.
Oh, man, bro. So... Okay, so Kyren Lacy, I don't know if you remember, Miles, but he was on the LSU team, and he was a wide receiver, and he was the one that, a lot of people were mad on Twitter because of his celebrations. He would up it like that on somebody. So he this is his mugshot right here. LSU standout wide receiver Kyren Lacy had this taken. He posted his $151,000 bond and has been released. So he was charged with negligent homicide and hit and run after a U.S. Marine was killed.
So one, I gotta know who his attorney is.
Wow.
To get bail.
Oh, yeah.
That is crazy.
Off a homicide, that's it, and it's supposed to be when you kill someone. I know murder is $1 million minimum, but you don't just get it right away. I mean, they probably leaned on the fact that he's probably never really been in trouble before. He is a student athlete. You can track him, but typically it got to be a little bit more than that. $151,000 bail means he put $15K down. That yeah. I mean, this kid's we're in the NIL era now. He ain't mama ain't it's supposed to be a little bit more painful than this. Mama got to put up a house. Now, I'm not saying well, both of them are equally tragic, just in different ways. But for perspective, Diddy not only put up all of his houses gave up his passport and all of his immediate family's passports and the private jets, and they still said your ass ain't getting out of fucking jail. So, is this kid look familiar to you? You know, he went viral with us. He helped us go viral a little bit on with the gun dance.
We
know that fire, pull up and squeeze.
Yeah, he always be doing
Like that's his thing. He's just like
we did a reel on one of
yeah,
those?
like well I took Little Duval had took his song and then he was just like that. He's just really active about it. It's just funny because not funny, it's ironic because like he didn't use the fire, but like, you know, bro, you just and it's just the scary what makes it worse, and this is why he's gonna go to jail. And he should go to jail. I don't mean like Henry Ruggs type jail. Like, because you know Henry Ruggs get out next year. And Henry Ruggs is probably gonna be in the NFL again. Yeah, like, and you know what? And they're gonna talk about it, but I had somebody still mad at Michael Vick. Like, I was like, man, Michael Vick
have a problem.
I was like, Michael Vick went to Leavenworth, man. Like, get the fuck over it. Like, and he's raising awareness for dogs. Like, you know, whatever. This kid, like Henry Ruggs watched the bitch burn.
Right.
And I think, and her dog burned, I think, or something like that. It was something crazy. And he's going to get out and play football. But this young man killed a Marine.
Right.
It is going to be like, they're going to make, this ain't going to be, and you know what they're going to use? All of that YouTube shit, all that Twitter shit, all that stuff. And it's like, it's unfortunate because we can't just paint people as like, yo, you did a bad thing and that you like that one moment will define them. And that's unfortunate. And I feel bad. And it's definitely because he killed a vet.
Negligent homicide and hit and run. So there's no alcohol involved. Is it speeding involved?
Probably speeding.
It has to be.
I'll read what ESPN reported on the case. So this happened on December 17th, and the Marine he killed was a 78-year-old man, and he fled the scene without rendering aid or calling authorities, and he turned himself in last night. So through the Lafourche or Louisiana Parish Sheriff's Office records, they indicate that Lacy was charged with negligent homicide, felony hit and run with death, and reckless operation of a vehicle. He could have, yeah. So
we don't know because it was so many. Like they have to test you right there. So that's probably why they hit him. But he said even if he left it, if he got arrested the next day, it would have probably metabolized out of his system, so they would not be able to know.
So he was allegedly driving a 2023 Dodge Charger on Louisiana Highway 20 and, quote, recklessly passed multiple vehicles at a high rate of speed by crossing the center line and entering the northbound lane while in a designating no passing zone. As Lacy was illegally passing the other vehicles, the driver of a northbound pickup truck abruptly braked and swerved to the right to avoid a head-on collision with the approaching Dodge. Man. He did not stop to render aid or provide any emergency services.
The guy ran into a tree or something like that, or it was a hit.
It says traveling behind the pickup was a 2017 Kia Cadenza whose driver swerved left to avoid the oncoming Dodge Charger. As the Kia Cadenza took evasive action to avoid impact with the Dodge, it crossed the center line and collided head-on with a southbound 2017 Kia Sorento. It sounds like some GTA stuff, my guy. I think he was in this lane and he was trying to pass this guy. So he would.
This happens a lot. And I don't know what that road was like, but I know in Tallahassee, we used to go like St. George Island. Like, obviously, I think places have changed now. They got 4-lane roads and stuff, but it used to be 2-lane highways. And so you would be driving and then you're just behind somebody slow and then you'll try to get into the other one and you got to drive fast to get past them. But like this guy, damn, that's crazy. He avoided a head-on collision to get a head-on collision. Yeah. Like that's and he was 78, older guy, probably somebody's papa. Man, you just got this is one of them ones where you just got to shut the fuck up and just take all of it, man. Like just, you know, be overly apologetic, put up some bread for the kids and the grandkids, and set up some different things. Like, bro, you need to do 3 to it said negligent homicide, so it's probably just do the 3 to 5 and just I don't know what to tell you, man, but you going to Angola, that ain't gonna be fun. But yeah, man, that's wild. But you know what's really more diabolical, and what's going to really not just the celebration. Do you know what this man did 2 days after this? He declared for the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Put up a graphic, like smiling on his own personal page.
No way.
Like the only thing his attorney is going to say is that they were not aware that that accident happened, because as he was driving past. I thought it was, which is still bad. I thought it was worse. I thought he hit the person and then just skated off.
Right.
But it's still just as bad, man. But I try to tell kids. I was talking to Drake at his going away party, and we're talking about getting the kind of car. And Drake was like, man, I don't even drive that fast. I was Drake, bullshit. You was on IG videotaping yourself go over 100. He's like, but coach, I had the vet, man.
Oh my God.
I was like, dog, Drake, you don't know how to drive that fast. All it takes is one little overcorrection when you're at that speed, and you've lost everything. And it's so hard to tell young people. And I learned this from an older person. One thing I do is I try to listen. And I love hanging out with old people, man. Old people got the best. Now, them motherfuckers that lived, and they got some good wisdom sometimes. And the OG told me, he said, when you're young, everything seems like it takes forever because you only have the amount of years on this planet that you have. The older you get, everything seems like just a moment in time because you have the amount of years that you've had on this planet. So when what's this young man, 21, 22? So he's got, let's just say he's 22. He's got 22 years of experience, of which 4 he's had freedom to be able to do whatever he wants to do. If he's able to leave for the draft, he's got to be, right? So he's got to be at least 3. For the first 10 to 15, really 10 to 18 years, you're ready to leave. You're trying to do this, but when you get older, you crave those younger moments again because you realize it's a bad deal being an adult. Bills suck. And then when you have kids, somebody tells you, there are moments that happened 11 years ago that I can remember better than I remember yesterday. Because they're damn near the same. It feels like the same amount of time. And I remember there's this thing I got to go find. It's going to be one of our cutoffs, is where Trey was 3, I think. And he was furious that football, there was no more football. He might have been 2. He's like, Dad, football, Daddy, football, where's football? And I'm like, oh man, it almost melted my heart. That boy was serious about his football. But he'll never remember that because that seems like forever ago because he's only 11. Or it seems like next year can't come fast enough because he only has the few years of experience. So when that girl reject, now it made so much sense. So when the girl rejects you in high school, you're like, oh my God, my life is over. And you're like, man, you got 10 more rejections in you. So by the time you get to rejection 10, you don't even give a fuck no more. You're like, man, I'm used to this shit now. I know I'm ugly. So now it's a little easier when mom was able to lie to you and tell you were cute then. Because you might have been cute, because most babies aren't. Now, some of y'all have ugly babies, and that's just, I don't know what you did to God to make that happen, but most babies ain't ugly. But some of y'all babies is, whew, I need to keep that gremlin in the house. But yeah, that's sad though.
Yeah, so we got the draft picture, him declaring for the draft, James.
This man is diabolical.
And he posted this one day after the crash happened. The crash happened on December 18th, and this was posted on December 19th. And people in the comments said Bray Lenciaga said, posting this knowing you crashed into them folks and drove off is honestly insane work.
That's the part where I'm like, I'm not feeling bad for him anymore, bro, because that is crazy. Now I think he was drunk. I think it's all.
Of course he was drunk. He was
I
drunk. He
don't
was
believe
showing off, and you feel invincible. This is why I don't like driving. Like, just let me have a driver, and I'm going to tell that driver, your number one priority is to get me to any destination safe. And I don't want a Dodge Charger. I don't want anything that goes fast for that. I want a fucking tank. I want to drive around like the president, give me a big-ass car with a steel frame. I actually want bulletproof glass because I'm seeing people, even though I saw M60 destroy bulletproof glass, and I have no idea why anybody needs an M60, but whatever. It's another conversation. I just want to be like, I want to get from point A to point B safely. It doesn't have to be fast. We can leave at an early enough time, but just get me there safely.
Yeah, it's just everything feels like an Atlanta scene now. It's just, man, I don't even know what to say besides, hey, man, keep your head up, bro, and make sure to hit them sit-ups, man. That's all I got to say. But we're going to transition into the Ohio State and Texas game. And, man, this was – I got a hot take, man. It did not – Texas making it this far did not help the SEC one bit, especially with this new and improved NIL space and the NIL collectives as schools start to get a greater pool to attract players. And Texas was the lone representative of the SEC, making it to the semifinal playoff, playing none other than Ohio State, but they took the L 28-14. And I have this cool infographic right here to share with you all. So it says, as the starting QB during his time with Kansas State, Will Howard, the current Ohio State quarterback, never beat Texas. Fast forward to this season, after transferring to OSU, Howard has led the Buckeyes to the national championship game while beating the Longhorns for the first time in his career. Now we're going to get into some of the box score and some of the team stats, and also the last fumble in the game to seal up the game. So yeah, first, Will Howard, he did pretty decent. He did pretty good today, or during the game. He went 24-33, 289 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Quinn Ewers, 23 of 39, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And then, but our boy JJ, man, he was getting clamped up. 1 reception for 3 yards, a long of 3. And then we're going to touch into some team stats as well. So they had a similar makeup for their total yards. OSU had 370, while Texas had 341. Only a difference of 6 pass yards between the two. So pretty average, pretty similar stats. And then rushing yards, OSU had a little bit more than Texas. They had 24 more rushing yards than Texas. So 23 more rushing yards than Texas. And they had some penalties as well on both sides. OSU 9 penalties, costing them 75 yards. But this is a deal breaker. Texas had 2 turnovers, 1 fumble loss, and 1 interception thrown. And that fumble sealed the game for the Buckeyes. So what did you think of this game, James, before we get into some clips of this game?
To the games, Texas played a lot better than I thought they were going to play. They were more physical than I thought they were going to be. But Ohio State, and they had a game plan. They said anybody but JJ. They literally had this man bracketed with 3 guys, like at all times, which is insane when you think about it. But the defense from Ohio State was just better than what they've seen. And it goes back to what I've consistently said. Anybody who watches this show, I say, who has the actual best conference in college football? I always say the Big Ten has a better overall conference when it comes to physicality, when it comes to the different things that you need to do. They also, Ohio State in particular, has better DBs. I actually said I don't know who actually won the not the Biletnikoff. Why can't I think of the Thorpe Award? But I know Texas had a guy, Ohio State had a guy, and I was like, Ohio State's DB is probably one of the better DBs in the nation. That's all he gets. That's all he has to do. And it's not a knock on Travis Hunter. It's just that they're actually good. Okay, Barron from Texas got it, the DB from Texas. So just Ohio State, just as much as they're known for wide receivers, they're known for DBs. They had a really good run on DBs, and so I knew they were going to shut down Texas, what Texas had going on. Quinn Ewers has never been considered elite. Arch is the one they want us to believe is elite, but like he wouldn't have won that game. But when I saw that defensive end come through and just get that strip sack, which I kind of felt was coming, I just like that just completely took all the win because I believe they were in position where they can at least get a field goal. But those guys were hitting, they were banging. Quarterback play was better than what we saw the night before, but still left a lot to be desired. I think I've enjoyed it. I think it's going to be a good national championship game because I like football. I do think Ohio State was going to win it. But the one thing I will say, I don't necessarily fully agree with the 12-team playoff. But what the 12-team playoff did was show us that if you give other people an opportunity, they will beat the SEC. It did not work out the way that they thought it was going to work out. So if the SEC is in fact the best conference in football, it should have been 3-1 SEC to Big Ten. And not 3-1 Big Ten type schools to the SEC, because no matter what conference Notre Dame plays most of their games against, Notre Dame is built like a Big Ten school. But if you don't want to do that, it still was the majority of Big Ten teams. And I'm trying to remember who did Texas beat to get into this? Yeah. So, and they shouldn't have beat ASU. So like, and they're not even the best team in the SEC. And this is their first year in the SEC. So all of that SEC is the best. Here's the reality of the SEC. The team that represents you in the Final Four was in the Big 12. It was in the Big 12. Was it the Pac-12? It wasn't one of them motherfuckers. It was Big 12, right? Yeah, they were in the Big 12. One of the softest fucking conferences in America. Then you got to escape by the hair of your chinny chin chin, playing a team from the Pac-12 that shifted to the Big 12, which both 1A and 1B, the softest conferences in fucking America. And then you face the actual toughest conference in America, and you got smashed. You should have went to all the rules and talking points that you had. If Georgia lost their starting quarterback, they should not have been eligible to have a bye. They should not have been in the Final Four, just like you said last year for Florida State. That was the reason why, even though we know that wasn't the reason why. That should have been that. Ole Miss can argue all they want. They didn't deserve to be in it, even though they beat the shit out of Duke, but that doesn't count. Alabama showed that they don't deserve to be in it. Miami didn't deserve to be in it. I'm just going to the ACC. The only thing this did was you stretched it out and you allowed everybody else to show why they belong. And if you would just take away the bullshit ass narrative and the bullshit ass favoritism that you show the SEC, you would realize that it probably, like, they're like, oh, for the first time in 20 years, we haven't had an SEC team in the national championship, because for the first time in 20 years, it was actually an even playing field. SEC doesn't schedule teams out of Alabama and Georgia do it every now and then, but they don't consistently schedule teams out of conference that are tough and playing on the road. Like everything is built to help you. And when faced with true adversity, you fold it. So, hey.
We got the clip of the strip sack by Sawyer right here to show anybody who hasn't seen the clip or refresh the fans' mind who did see the clip. And man, this was just crucial moment for the game. A nice cherry on top to get this thing in OSU's favor. So enjoy this clip, y'all.
Pilgrim was scooting.
For yours. Pressure comes.
Yeah.
Ohio State.
Yeah, I got the clip of that too. We'll show right after this. 4th and goal though. Man. Now up by 2 scores. Icing on the cake. I'll replay it for y'all.
What's funny is you hear the rumors now that he may be trying to hit the transfer portal, and Ohio State's a place where he may be going back to.
That's crazy.
This whole portal shit is wild. I plan on seeing Carson on this weekend. We're gonna take the Domo national team to UM for a tour. But like this shit is wild, man.
And we got the video clip of Eeyores explaining how him and the defender who caused the strip sack fumble were roommates in college.
He looks so much bigger in pads than he does right there.
You know, I felt like I belonged there, and it's going to be fun to get to see those guys. You know, me and Jack Sawyer were roommates my freshman year with a couple other guys, so it's going to be cool to get to see those guys for sure.
Dang, that's tough, my guy. That is tough. Imagine your roommate. Imagine your roommate crushing your soul like that. Your former roommate.
You over there talking shit to your homie, and then he's like one of the things that are always funny with me is like imagine like it happens when you have kids that you know. I'm talking shit to my kids, and like then they beat my team, and it's like, oh man, I still gotta love them, but I gotta hear this dumb shit right now. But imagine like right there, like, you know, you come in, you strip sack, you score a touchdown, and you say, hey man, tell mom I said what's up. Like there's this black video that went viral, and a lot of crazy white people, not caps, but crazy white people like a little black kid went to somebody's house and he opened the refrigerator, ate a cold chicken tender, and the mom posted it like, why is he eating a cold chicken tender? And it's just the mom and then the dad's there. They're like, why is he disrespecting the house? I'm like, no, that just looked like a guy that's comfortable. Like he goes over there. He's part of the family. Like I eat a cold chicken. I'll eat a cold piece of chicken out of the refrigerator if I'm hungry, you know? But like, you know, I expect my son's friends to be like that. You're only a guest in my house one time. That's what this relationship is with your college roommate, more than likely, because, you know, both parents had to move y'all in, both sets of parents. You hang out with each other. That's the person you spend the most time with. So now you over there, you go open the fridge and you go drink out of the jug and you tell his mom, hey man, is Quinn still mad at me about when I strip sacked and took away his hope or something like that? Like I can't imagine what the Mitchell family's next family gathering is going to be like with Chris beating John. Like Chris didn't moss John or anything like that. I don't even know if John played. But the point is that like imagine like I just beat you and it's kind of like I get like he wins his championship ring, he starts wearing it for no reason. You know how siblings do silly shit. You start wearing it for no reason. You start really being handsy. Like you just be like, hey man, how's everything going? You trying to go where? You gotta go that way. Like you just start doing shit. That's crazy, man. But like, nah, that's cool though. I mean, it is cool, but losing sucks. But there's got to be a loser all the time.
So the college football championship is now in full swing. So the final teams in the college football championship are Notre Dame and Ohio State. So we will talk about the odds for what the game opened at, and we will get this thing started right now. So Ohio State opens up as the favorite versus Notre Dame, and then we will share with you some of the betting odds as well. Let me blow this up for you guys. So Ohio State is the favorite in this game, and they are favored by 9.5. That's what it opened at. That's pretty crazy. And then the over under total would be 46.5. And the money line for Ohio State, aka the favorite team to win, is minus 400, meaning you have to bet $400 to make $100. And then Notre Dame's money line is plus 300. So if you bet $100, you'll make $300 in earnings. So off this opening odds, James, what would you take? Because 9.5 is pretty crazy to me.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I fucking suck at college picking, man. Like this whole new thing, like who you think is gonna win ain't gonna win, or what you think is gonna happen. Like Ohio State could blow them the fuck out. But I gotta do a little more research, man. I think I won my parlay for the Texas Ohio State game though. You want to know what I did though for the Texas Ohio State game? I actually adjusted the spread. I made it to go. It was 6.5. I put it to 12.5. And then I thought I took the over. I'm glad I didn't. I took the under. But I knew Ohio State was 14 points better than them. I don't know if Ohio State's 14 points better than Notre Dame because I think Notre Dame is more physical. And after seeing that running back with that touchdown, again, that's annoying. Going viral on IG is the most annoying thing you can do because you don't get to see the comments on your other cool stuff. But like, everybody's like, that shit was crazy when it slowed down, how many tackles he broke. But I'm gonna have to break it down a little bit more. I may go and try to do this game is on Monday, next Monday, right?
Let me look
what's the
it
date
up.
it says?
Give me 1 second. I'm looking that up for you. Monday. Yeah, I forgot, bro. MLK Day is gonna be crazy. They got so much things going on, but yeah, it's MLK Day, 7:30 p.m.
Should I make a flyer for Goodfellas for a game with MLK on it? Have we seen any? Has anybody seen it? Every year, niggas go nigga, and they're gonna put MLK on a flyer, on a club flyer with some Hennessy or the one with the fade in the part. So, I'm interested. Miles, they make you work on MLK?
Yep.
Damn.
Every job I ever had.
That's also I think General Lee Day. Apparently Madison County put out their closed in remembrance for MLK and Robert E. Lee Day.
Why vote? How do you vote?
Because it's Madison County. And we don't want this DEI woke agenda. We have to, it's heritage, not hate. Even though that man literally said when he lost, please do not try to honor me, commemorate. I am on the losing side of a treasonous side. Like, people don't even look at their own history. Robert E. Lee would hate you for celebrating, for wearing a Confederate flag and celebrating these monuments. But yeah, man, that's I think we're gonna do a watch party here. We'll do something cool. But I think I need to do. I need to go break down some of this shit. I need to watch more Ohio State. I haven't watched enough Ohio State. I just know JJ's wild. So
yeah, I don't know what I would choose. Like you said, especially now with college, I feel like Luke in the chat. Luke is our Sports Den unofficial betting liaison. He got some tips for y'all in the chat. So he said Notre Dame money line because we did mention that Luke
did not get clamped. JJ was bracketed by 3 DBs. He's one man. And the dude with the name that almost sounds like an epitaph if you don't say it or pronounce it right, Jingle or whatever, I think he said, no, that was the other Ohio State wide receivers got off. That's my fear is that, but I also like Notre Dame's D-line. I'm leaning to take Notre Dame, but I don't know about money line. I'm leaning to take Notre Dame with the points. You know me, I ain't doing no. I might throw. I don't feel confident enough to do a $100 bet with this. How can I like what do you call it? Like leverage my hedge my bet. I don't want to put $100 on both of them. Hold on. Let me see here. College football playoff. All right, build my own. I want to know how much money I would make. Oh, it's gone down now. It's Notre Dame. Notre Dame's getting only 8 points. And it's plus 275. So that means for $100, I would get 275. Oh no, I'll get 375.
No, you would.
Yeah.
Get 275.
Well, yeah, I would make 275 profit, yeah. So, but before you were saying it would be $300 profit?
So it would be 100 to 400.
If it's going to be a Notre Dame win, it's got to be the under. What if I did that? Is that worth it? Nah, a $25 bet. I could do $25. They get 175. I may dally with that. But colleges, clearly I need more help with college. I'm getting destroyed on the college side with my betting, with my gambling habits.
So I got this full circle picture right here. I know somebody mentioned Marcus Freeman's alma mater in the chat. So we got this flashback photo right here. So from 2006 to 2008, Marcus Freeman played linebacker at Ohio State. And now
a picture of him like when he was just jacked, man.
Yeah. And now in 2025, he faces Ohio State in the college football national championship game. And this is only his 3rd season coaching at Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken. So huge shout out to Marcus Freeman for, man, living out your wildest dreams, man. Can't believe it.
Have you seen Marcus Freeman and my friends put a picture of Marcus Freeman and Tiger Woods side by side. And the black and Asian thing is good. You know what I'm getting mad? Like, I don't mind. Represent who you want to represent, right? But it bothers me now that everybody can understand the differentiation between like races. Like when it was like, oh, he can't just be the first black coach. Like he's got to be Asian. Now we can have 2 races now. You can be 2 races now. Like when Kamala was running now, she's not black, she's this. We're all mixed, man. Like, I'm sorry. I apologize to you guys. Don't like history, but if you are of a darker pigmentation, you might have came here on a boat. Or even if your people came over here on this side of the continent, they came over on a boat. And they were owned by people who were a little bit clearer complected. And they had a good time when they wanted to. And babies were made. Like, so black is black. But I am so rooting for Marcus on this. And I like the fact that he's a former player. And I like the fact that he gets the opportunity to beat his alma mater. So good for him. Can't wait for it.
Now we will transition into the NFL. But before we get into the Wildcard weekend, the WW, we got to talk about the Jags HC. Man, they had some interviews going on that they have conducted. So we will share with you all the scoop of the interviews, who got requested for an interview, who completed an interview so far. So we will get into this right now. So the Jaguars earlier this week requested interviews with 10 candidates: Vikings DC Brian Flores, Buffalo Bills OC Joe Brady, Bucks OC Liam Cohen, obviously the Lions DC Aaron Glenn, Raiders DC Patrick Graham, Lions OC Ben Johnson, Ravens OC Todd Monken, Eagles OC Kellen Moore, former New York Jets head coach Robert Saleh, and Kansas City defensive coordinator one of the greatest, Steve Spagnuolo. Now, so far, these are the interviews that have been completed. So Patrick Graham did complete his interview process. Ben Johnson completed his interview. Aaron Glenn completed his interview as well. And Steve Spagnuolo completed his interview as well. Now, those are the 4 coaches that have completed their interview so far with the Jags. So, James, do you still feel like Johnson is the way to go? Or the proper question to ask is, what direction do you think the Jaguars will go when selecting a head coach rather than what you would want?
I can tell you I don't want no retread from a loser. I don't want Steve Spagnuolo. I don't want Salah, even though I do like him, unless he's coming as a DC. I talked about this on First Coast News yesterday. And when you look at it, what did Trevor Lawrence say was the problems? Trevor Lawrence said we had bad culture, we were soft, and I think they said basically they lost faith in leadership, which all kind of comes down to every time somebody sucks, it's always a bad culture, and everybody says that they're soft, which at a professional level, none of those things should matter. Those are all personal responsibilities and personal choices. That being said, with the easiest way to fix being soft typically is by hiring a defensive-minded coach. But that guy would need a innovative offensive mind that can help develop the talent, which I think the problem is the Jags are better equipped to win faster by solving the offensive problem. So I would go Ben Johnson or Joe Brady. I'm damn sure not going for if you're getting Liam Cohen, you're going for that means that we definitely are keeping bulky. Like anybody else, like Glenn and Johnson and Brady aren't putting up with that bullshit that's bulky. They're going to bring somebody else in. When I look at just look at what Joe, so I don't mind Glenn. I would not mind him as a hire. I just need it would be an incomplete conclusion for me until I know who the offensive coordinator is. But I definitely know that the defense will get cleaned up. Like it doesn't have there's some games where I think they didn't do very well. I also saw we got Brian Flores that came into it. I don't want Brian Flores. Brian Flores kills a quarterback. Even though he was right about Tua, you don't say that shit. He called Tua soft as fuck, some shit like that. Joe Brady took a quarterback, young wide receivers. They traded away all of their better wide receivers, their better playmakers the last 2 years. And has made helped Josh Allen be one of the better be one of the better offensive weapons. He took the young why can't I think of my guy's name? Young Cook, James Cook, made him into a 1,000-yard running back. And the offensive line is just okay in conditions that are not ideal because they still play outside. They play in the snow, play in the cold weather. Imagine bringing that here to Florida where at worst it rains 4 games the first part of the season. Like if you take Trevor Lawrence and you make him a more efficient quarterback, you do something that the Jags figured out was very smart by throwing the ball to Brian Thomas Jr. down the field more often than not. You use Gabe Davis if he comes back healthy. You have Christian Kirk, who is a career top number 2 receiver with a healthy Evan Ingram. You have the wide receiver core to be able to change your fortunes relatively quickly. With 2 running backs, if they can hold on to the fucking ball, that would be pretty good. Tank is good. ETN is okay if they use him more in the Alvin Kamara role as opposed to trying to just make him a pure runner of the football. You have the offensive weapons to be able to turn the Jags around relatively quickly. Defense, you have a couple young corners, you have some pieces, but that's really where the Jags need help. And I don't, but again, Joe Brady did that. And if you go and look at what Ben Johnson did, clearly, Sonic and Knuckles, Montgomery and Gibbs, your 2-headed monster, and the quarter, come on. Like if he made him good, like remember why they traded him from LA to Detroit? To kill his career? Like, and now look at where they're at. And we talk about culture. that's why I like him and Aaron Glenn. Like they both came in, and the Detroit culture is what Jacksonville would love to have for this city. It would embody the city's nickname, which is the Bangum. Like fighting, scrappy, bullying, beating the shit out of everybody. That's what Jacksonville wants, but has never gotten the opportunity to have. So my two candidates would be either coordinator from Detroit. So anybody who gets him out of here.
So yeah, hopefully the organization, aka Shad and Trent Baalke, go with a desirable candidate for the city, because the city is in dire need of a strong head coach, strong leader for the team. Speaking of new head coach, though, Miles, your Patriots got a new one after they let go of Mayo. So if you guys did not know, the Patriots are expected to hire Mike Vrabel as their new head coach. And they said this was a clear favorite from the beginning. He was a former All-Pro in New England and a member of the team's Hall of Fame. James, is this a good pickup by the Patriots?
I think it's good. I think he's a good coach. I just really wish they would have not like play with everybody and just told the truth from the jump, man. You know, like this is the direction we want to go. We're not firing you because we dislike you. We're firing you because you know, this is who we want. But like, didn't they interviewing guys? Like they interviewed no, it was the Jets that interviewed Mike Locksley, who's a mid-college coach. Like I just the Rooney Rule in theory is a really good rule. The problem is until you start having real clear-cut consequences, or like, and it's not about forcing you to hire a black guy. It's just, that's why it's always funny when I hear people say shit like, oh my God, you get this woke. All it is just saying, we're encouraging you to look at a black guy. Like if you would just do the right thing, nobody would have these rules. But nobody does the right thing. But it's not because it's not always racism. It's about the circles that you run in. But if you're never allowed to run in those circles, because there were laws that were put in place that forced us to not be able to run in those circles. But like, we just gotta but I would rather you tell me the truth than lie to me. And this was a clear-cut lie. Like they fired a coach with 1 year. They should have, and maybe he was told this, but just to keep his mouth shut so he can get his payday. But I think they did that, man. From outside looking in for traditional, they did their last coach wrong. But I think Vrabel could be successful. But I think if they're looking for Belichick, they're going to be looking forever. Like, just let that man flourish and be who he is.
Yeah, I don't know how it will look with New England, but they have, I would say, the quarterback position, Drake May, he's been looking more and more pleasant as the season progressed. But yeah, good luck to Coach Mike Vrabel, and good luck too to former Patriots head coach Gerard Mayo as he goes through this tough time. Now we will get into the NFL Wildcard weekend, starting with the first game, which was the Texans versus the Chargers. Now, I and many others on the podcast said the Chargers are going to win, but James picked the Texans to win, and he was right. The Texans, they ended up beating the Chargers 32-12, and this game was a stinker by Justin Herbert. He did not do good at all. 14 of 32, 242 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. You cannot win any NFL game, any football game like that, let alone a NFL game. So, man, just congratulations to the Houston Texans and their whole squad for doing what they do and getting past this round in the playoffs. But before the game, Rex Ryan had a little something to say about the matchup. So let me share this with you all. He said the Chargers had a, quote, bye week ahead of facing the Texans, man. And once they lost, the players had to snap back. So after the game, Joe Mixon said, quote, smoking on that Rex Ryan bye week pack. But Rex Ryan, after the game yesterday, I was watching, he said, well, I'm sorry for not picking y'all this week, and I'm not going to pick y'all next week against the Chiefs. So, man, at least he's standing on business. That's all I can say. So we got a couple of videos and clips to show y'all while we recap this game as well. So these is the Texans stats for the last 3 years post DeMeco Ryan, and then the 2 years with DeMeco Ryans as the coach. And CJ Stroud as well. So Texans in the 3 years before DeMeco and CJ, they were 11, 38, and 1 in 0 playoff appearances. But in the 2 years since they've had both coach and quarterback, they are back-to-back AFC South champs and back-to-back divisional round appearances. Huge shout out to DeMeco. I know they're counting you out during this last bit of the season with things not going as well for your team. Did face a lot of injuries though. Tank Dell, Stefan, Nico, you were banged up all over. So huge congrats to making it this far. So James, what did you think of this game before we get into some funny clips? How did you like it? Were you surprised by Justin Herbert's lack of performance?
No. Did y'all see the last time the Chargers were in the playoffs? Justin Herbert was a superstar the first half and then completely shit the bed the second half with the Jags. I told y'all exactly what was going to happen. He's a really good regular season. He's not a wartime consigliere. And it was time for them to lose. And the thing is that CJ Stroud is a really good quarterback. He's just been playing down for all the reasons that you just said. There's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of inconsistencies. But when it came down to it, I believe the Texans are going to win. Now they're going to lose next week, but they're going to they're following the exact same path as the Jags did when they made their playoff run. You beat the Chargers, and you go to KC where it's probably going to snow and be cold, and then you're going to lose. And that's just the way it goes. Do you know I've predicted every game this wild card weekend? Well, we'll see tonight. I'm not going to I fucked up and didn't bet Saturday, though. Put my parlay in Saturday, but my parlay for Sunday is clear. I just need them to win tomorrow, and my little $3 is going to win me $26. Now, if y'all think I should cash out, Miles said I should ride it out. But I can get $9.76 right now if I cash out. So I have 3 times my money. That's pretty damn good. So, but y'all tell me what y'all think. But I just like to play those long parlays, but I got it going right now. So, but yeah, man, that shit was exactly what I expected it to be.
Yeah, NFL rookie wide receiver Ladd McConkey went off though. 9 receptions, 197 yards, and 1 touchdown. Nico Collins did well as well with 7 receptions, 122 yards, and 1 touchdown. So, man, they're going to keep doing their thing. And we have some funny / inspiring clips from this game that we will share with you all right now. So I'm going to pull it up so y'all can enjoy.
Hey, man. Hey, outstanding job by everybody. How was that bye week? Hey, man, you talk about complete team football. We've been talking about all year. Talk about playing complementary football. Everybody, O-line, D-line, CJ, great job, man. Great job. Hey, the play we needed to get us going, to play the Hutch, and then run, man. Excellent job. Keep leading that way, man. Outstanding job by you. I got so many guys, man. Joe, way to run the ball, man. We needed it most. Joe, way to coach it up. From my man, Steve. All-Pro Steve. All-Pro Steve. Hey, best in the business, man. Keep going. 2 picks a day. Man, put the team on your back. Outstanding job. Everybody, D-line. Keep spinning, baby. Love the way you guys hunted right there, guys. Man, you talk about pressure.
Talk about a quarterback who didn't throw picks. All right? That's what it looked like right there when that pressure was on. Great job all the way around, man. And you talk about redeeming the time, we get more time. All right, we get more time together. Special team. We got a special team. Let's keep it going, man. Everybody, keep giving everything you got, man. All right, one more week. Whoever we got, again, it doesn't matter. It's about us. When we play ball the right way, that's what it looked like. You guys are a dominating team, all right? Keep believing in each other. Keep giving everything you got for each other, man. Outstanding job.
I like Miko, man. I really wish they would have gave my guy in New England another shot.
So we got this video as well, just a little comedic relief. We got Joe Mixon in the locker room talking about him smoking on that Rex Ryan bye-week pack. And I thought this was hilarious, and I wanted to share this with you all right now.
What is that? Hey, what we doing though? What we doing, man? Smoking that Rex Ryan, man. Hey, what we doing, man?
Yeah, we smoking on that Rex Ryan pack, man.
I would love that.
Where you at?
Oh, I thought that boy said about week.
This is what bothers me, man. These guys make a lot of money. A lot of money. If we're going to smoke, let's smoke right. I don't know what that is, but that doesn't look like it was lit well. And it doesn't look like that cigar was taken care of. I'm going on this right now. You guys at FSU, I don't know if we can add FSU football or whatever. Y'all tell the guys, well, we can add FSU football if y'all want to. I will provide victory cigars for every victory. At home victory. Well, no, I got to be able to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's if they're away, I actually know it. Like, I'm only going to, I plan on going to Stanford. So I plan on going to San Francisco. I'm not going to Gainesville. So we can get that out of there. I don't know who else we play on the road, but like, I'll be going to 2 to 3 away games. So I guess I could that ain't nothing, but that's 4 boxes of cigars. I mean, that's actually significant. But I mean, I get them for 50% off. So like, I get them at cost. So like, if it's they got to say they got them for me though. Thanks big game for the big game cigar. But we gonna smoke good shit if we're gonna smoke it, man. I'm sick of it. I don't like this stuff. I ain't giving the Jags shit. Them motherfuckers make millions. But like, they should know better. But like, or if they partnered, the Jags would make Goodfellas the official lounge, the official cigar lounge of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Andreu, y'all make me the official cigar lounge of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I will make sure we provide victory smokes for you guys too. But if we're gonna smoke, let's smoke right, guys. That's all I'm saying. That's my only suggestion. You know, I say Florida State because I'm alumni. As an alumni, and the crazy part is, one of the biggest, the largest purchaser of tobacco in the state in the nation is a Florida State alumni. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of offering help and nobody wanted to take my help, man. Let me help you. That's all I'm saying, man.
Huge shout out to the Texans for getting a chance to move on in the playoffs, but Mike Tomlin and the Steelers did not get a chance to move on to the playoffs, losing 28-14 to none other than the MVP frontrunner himself, Lamar Jackson, and the Baltimore Ravens. So if you guys did not watch this game, like I just said, Baltimore beat the Steelers 28-14. And man, this is an exciting one. We got a lot of clips to show, a lot of topics to talk about, but I just wanted to read some of the performances by some of the key players. Sierra's husband, Russell Wilson, 20 for 29, 270, 2 touchdowns, got sacked 4 times, lost on 19 yards. You know, pretty good. Lamar, 16-21, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, took 1 sack for 10 yards. He had 15 carries, 81 yards on the ground. King Henry, 26 carries, 186 yards, and 2 tutties, sealed the game. Rashad Bateman had a receiving touchdown, and then Justice Hill had a receiving touchdown as well. The only players who scored for the Steelers was none other than NFL young boy George Pickens and Van Jefferson. So, James, did you get a chance to peep this game and peep the performance by the Ravens?
Nah, I didn't get a chance to watch it. I watched it through my friends. Derrick Henry apparently was just molesting people again, just doing that wild shit. Lamar Jackson is great. I'm tired of people like making excuses for Herbert and not acknowledging MV3. My bad. Well, no, right now I'm saying they're saying Allen is the guy, but I'm saying we make excuses for why Herbert isn't performing to the level that he needs to. We said this man was a running back that throws the ball, and yet he's doing quarterback shit. Like he's like, it's insane. But and Derrick Henry, if for no other reason, should be Marshawn Lynch needs to be in the Hall of Fame just because I'm a Marshawn Lynch fan. But Derrick Henry has an iconic move that will never be replicated. And I think people, you know how people, you moss somebody, you catch somebody, you moss. They call it, what's it, head top, up top chicken box and all that shit now, the thing. What Derrick Henry has done with his hands and his arms to grown-ass men is the most disrespectful shit. His stiff arm is so disrespectful that, like, do you have the Bleacher Report one, or this is just a live one?
I have the live one and the AI one.
Okay, yeah, we show both of these because the AI one might be the more realistic one.
No, that's the one who's in the plane.
Yeah, that might be the more realistic one because that's what this man just did. Like, he is doing to people. Like, on God, I'm so grateful this has never been done to me. And I would be so mad if this did. But like, let's just watch this, roll that wonderful bean footage. Can we slow it down too just a little bit? Savor this shit. Because, man, this is a grown-ass man he did this to.
Play. Now they give it to Henry. And there he goes.
That's just the run. I mean, that's just that was good, solid blocking, but this is good enough because what's crazy is this is a grown man, and this grown man got slapped. Like, you are literally seeing his hand is on his cheek.
Stiff arm by Derrick Henry on Fitzpatrick there at the end of that play.
He slapped that man in Cancun.
Stiff arm by Derrick Henry on Fitzpatrick there at the end of that play.
It's like, what we need to do is take this and take the Charlie Murphy, the Charlie Murphy, Rick James thing. He said, back when slapping was fashionable. You know, in Paris, you see somebody say, I challenge you to a duel. Pap, pap. Somebody had to die. Somebody had to go. And that's what Derrick did. Back when slapping was fashionable, you see a DB, you say, pap, I challenge you to a duel. Pop. I've lived 40 solid long years on this planet. I've never been shot, knock on wood. And I've never been slapped by another man. I don't think I would react well to being slapped. Like, that's crazy. The stiff arms normally just put people in orbit, but I think this might be the most disrespectful stiff arm that Derrick Henry has ever given. Damn.
So Mike Tomlin took to the press after the game, and James, I just wanted to hear your opinion on what he was saying, and if you agreed with him, if you didn't, Is this the right route he should be going as a coach, saying these things in the press conference? So chat, let us know what you think in the chat below. You know, we love to hear and love to see the fan engagement. So yeah, stay tuned.
To be honest, I knew we was going to lose as soon as I saw Russell Wilson doing hot yoga, listening to Enya in the aisle on the team plane like a jackass with his old Urkel looking ass. I'm tired of his fruity nickname too, Mr. Unlimited my ass. The only thing unlimited about him is fucking turnovers. He's definitely a virgin. I haven't won a playoff game in 8 years, and I'm always around 500. I'm basically the black Jeff Fisher. Even Doc Rivers thinks I'm an average coach. I always say the standard is the standard, and that standard is a 9-8 season and getting our ass beat in the first round of the playoffs. Look, once I get to the playoffs, I check out. My job is done. I start planning vacations and shit. The last time I won a Super Bowl, Nancy Pelosi was still a fine piece of ass. Now her tang smells like a fucking truck stop shower. Despite this loss, my expectations for next season haven't changed. And those expectations are to do just barely enough to keep my job.
So if you guys didn't know, that was AI. I'm just warning y'all, that is AI.
They almost had his voice right. But the lips were off on that one. The lips were a little off. Yeah, so but that was funny though. The problem is you have TJ Watt, right? We like TJ Watt. I like the running back. Everything else is just okay. And this just goes to my point. This is how I know he's a good coach. To go 9-8 with that roster consistently means you're a good coach. And they had opportunities to win more, but some of these games they had to win in spite of Russell. And I think if they had Justin Fields, they would be in a much better position because some of that stuff that Justin Fields was able to do or is able to do would have taken them to another level. So, but I do think that was funny. Sierra's husband I don't like Sierra's husband, man. I'm sorry. Again, you can say it's because I like Future, but that has nothing to do with it. I just like winning. He's just average.
So I know the AI kind of mentioned at this, but there has been a lot of talk about Tomlin, and we know that he has never not made it to the playoffs during his NFL tenure. But RG3 took to Twitter and decided to partake in the Mike Tomlin buzz going on Twitter, trending on Twitter. So he said this: the national media better hold Mike Tomlin accountable for his lack of playoff success like they do Mike McCarthy. Both have one Super Bowl win. McCarthy is 11-11 in the playoffs. Tomlin is 8-11 in the playoffs. Mike McCarthy hasn't won a playoff game in 2 years. Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game in 8 years. Both Super Bowl winning coaches, but covered completely different. Their Super Bowl ring makes them both be held to a higher standard of winning. So either take them both to task or show them both grace. They are literally on the same path. Do you agree with these sentiments, James?
No, I don't. I don't agree with these sentiments at all. Mike McCarthy, who is the quarterback that Mike McCarthy won the Super Bowl with? Does anybody remember? Aaron Rodgers is considered what? Top 10. Like not top 10, like now. Like Aaron Rodgers is considered one of the best quarterbacks. And you couldn't win. Like he had Big Ben, who couldn't move. And Big Ben is a good quarterback. He went to 2 Super Bowls. But like Big Ben been retired for quite some time, right? And Big Ben has injuries and a lot of other different things. Big Ben was more like Steve McNair than he was anybody else when it came to his stuff. But like they just have really good defenses and they play that type of brand of football that they want to play up that way. That's conducive with that weather. And to be honest with you, when they got rid of McCarthy, has Green Bay like played exponentially better since then? They ain't won no damn Super Bowl, I can tell you that much. Shit, since the Titans got rid of Jeff Fisher. Have the Titans played any exponentially better since then? Vrabel got them good, but then they got rid of Vrabel. But have they played really any better? I think people don't realize the NFL is designed for you to be average. And the teams that are slightly above average go to the playoffs. The goal for the NFL is to win the Super Bowl, but the goal for the NFL is also you have to get to the playoffs in order to win the Super Bowl. You get rid of Tomlin, you might get a guy in there who can't do shit. It might get worse for you. And typically what happens is it gets worse before it gets better, or it gets better for one clip. You want to know who you really should be saying that about? Who everybody thinks is just this genius of a coach? Gruden. What has Gruden done with the non-built Tony Dungy team? That Buccaneers team that won, Tony Dungy built that. And when all those guys went away, what was John Gruden? And then he went and we fell in love with him because he looks like Chucky. He gave us a play call that we can all remember, the Spider 2Y banana. Gruden's quarterback school.
Big lipped.
And then he went to the Raiders. And then we learned why Discovery is a motherfucker. Like, Discovery ain't about you. Discovery is about the other people who are going to be implicated in the fucking Discovery. Like, basically, he went straight Clayton Bigsby. Wide nose having, breathing all the white man's air. Talking about the gay dude, all that shit.
But yeah, it's I don't know, man. I don't obviously the NFL is a very hard league, and I do think Tomlin is getting a lot of scrutiny, you know, but I think the biggest knock on this whole argument is just the hasn't won a playoff game in 8 years. I think that's just his biggest knock. You know, at least he made it to the playoffs, like you said, but it's very hard to win in the NFL and to get to that point. So huge shout out to Mike Tomlin for making it to the playoffs at least. And yeah, it's just a tricky situation, slippery situation. So now we'll touch on a little bit of this game, but of the Broncos versus Bills. Now there wasn't really too much to talk about because the Bills completely dominated the Broncos. The final score was 31-7. I don't know if you could call this a game. A lot of fans had hope in Bo Nix and the Broncos, but they got bullied, and I think that's an understatement if I'm being fair. Josh Allen showed why he is a top quarterback in this league. The Bills showing how they are a powerhouse offense. I believe they were top 3 in yards per game in offense, and the Broncos were top 3 in defense with the third lowest yards per game they allowed. So this was a showout of the top defense and top offense going at it, and we see who won and who took home the dub in this game. And the Bills are looking scary. They really put it on the Broncos, and we got a fun fact for you all today. So Tim Tebow remains the only drafted Broncos quarterback to ever win a playoff game for Denver. I thought that was hilarious just because, you know, we in Florida. Obviously, we all
in a new era. Whatchamacallit wasn't drafted. John Elway wasn't drafted by them?
Let me look it up.
I think it might have been since Elway. Or was Elway drafted by somebody else and then they traded? Because
yeah, Elway was drafted out of high school by the Kansas City Royals. No, that's baseball. Excuse me.
He was drafted by the Colts and then Denver traded for him. That's crazy.
That was baseball. My bad.
That's wild.
Yeah, the Colts had their first overall pick, Elway was the first of 6 quarterbacks selected in the first round. And then, he got ended up getting picked by the Colts. Wow.
And then traded. That's wild.
And then traded. So, he's not even John Elway, but, man, crazy work. Crazy work. There's not too much to talk about of this game, to be honest. It was just a bully show. I'll read you off some notable stats, but nothing too crazy. James Cook was probably the player of the game. 23 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown. Josh Allen, 20 of 26, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bo Nix, 13 of 22, 144 yards, and 1 touchdown as well. Man, the top, you have to get the top, man. Buffalo had 41 minutes compared to the Broncos' 18 minutes of time of possession. Cannot win a game like that.
Gotta have top. So, James, how scary are the Buffalo Bills looking in the rest of this playoff stretch? Extremely, because the only team that has a natural advantage to them would be KC, and you can't snow them. They probably would love to play in the so you're gonna have to somebody comes to them. So they host again. We know the weather's gonna stink. They're used to it. And then in the championship, they'll probably have to go to KC. Unless the Texans upset them, and then the Texans gotta come to Buffalo. So they have a team that's built to win. Their defense is stingy. They have a guy who was resurrected on their team. You've got a good quarterback play. You've got strong physical receivers, and you got a good running game. Good top, and good D will win you a lot of games. Will win you a lot in life. So they have that. And like I said, and I think they're better than everybody else that they're facing outside of Baltimore. Because that's what they face, Baltimore Bills, right? Yeah, Baltimore and the Bills. Again, the winner of that game is going to have a crazy advantage because the only thing that the Chiefs have is just hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes. They just know how to win. But I still think it was I think again, I can't wait to I'll be on a fucking 7-on-7 field. I'm watching that shit somewhere though. I'm watching it on my phone, get my son's game over with and getting active. So, but yeah, man, it's going to be Baltimore Buffalo will be the game to watch.
Next, we're going to talk about the next game of the Wildcard weekend, the Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And man, the Packers have been stinking the bed lately, especially the last 3 games. So from this infographic right here, the Packers ended their season with 3 straight losses, losing 27-25 to the Vikings, 24-22 to the Bears, both division rivals, and losing yesterday 22-10 to Philadelphia at Philadelphia. Man, this was a good game for Saquon and them boys. Man, they were going off, doing their thing, and proving why they are one of the most prolific offensive threats in the league, in my humble opinion. Read off some stats. Jalen Hurts didn't really throw the ball too much. 13-21, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns, and don't need to throw the ball too much when you have the NFL's number 1 RB in your backfield. Saquon, 25 carries, 119 yards, no touchdowns though. Man, I know if I would have bet on this game, I definitely would have had Saquon as a touchdown scorer, but man, that's how it works sometimes. But Dallas Goedert caught a touchdown for Philadelphia, and Jahan Dotson. The Packers were not looking too well on offense, even though Josh Jacobs did go off, proving that he is a top, some might even say top 3 running back this season. 18 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown. But Jordan Love, 20 of 33, 212 yards, and 3 interceptions. Cannot win a game like that. Not even and especially not a playoff game. James, what do you think the Eagle has in store? Do you think they can make it to the top of the NFC? and potentially go back to the Super Bowl like they did with Jalen Hurts 2 seasons ago.
I mean, I picked them. I think they'll beat Detroit. I think at a certain point, Detroit's had so many injuries on defense, but they still play with grit, play with a hell of a lot of tenacity. While I love Saquon and what he's doing, if they can slow him down and make Jalen Hurts have to beat him as a quarterback, I think that's the best way that they can get it done. But I thought that game was going to be an ass whooping real quick. But Green Bay's playing more like Green Bay played early in the season. I remember Love went on a run where he wasn't throwing interceptions, but like for the first 8 games of the season, he threw an interception. And because it was one of the betting odds that he would go 0.5 interceptions. And so it was just like he was a turnover machine. And then he cleaned it up, and that's when they started playing unbelievable. But I think Philly is a well-built team.
Yeah, just to reiterate, the Packers had 4 total turnovers with 3 interceptions by courtesy of Jordan Love and 1 fumble loss, compared to the Eagles' 0 turnovers. Time of possession, very similar, only off by a couple of seconds, 29 minutes compared to 30 minutes. So, man, I thought this would be more of a blowout as well. Only a 32-point total for this game, so not too much. Let me recap. Let me see the game cat. So the over-under for this game was 45.5, and then the total points for this game was 32. So off by 14 points. The money line was Philadelphia 5.5. Obviously covered that, and man, the Eagles are looking scary in this postseason, especially like James has mentioned with the Lions' injuries on defense. And I'm just happy to see how this Eagles team will pan out. Hopefully they can go to the Super Bowl again under Jalen Hurts, and for Saquon especially, since he had his career mostly in New York, not really sniffing the playoffs. Now he's getting more excited that he's on a better team, better culture, better fans. So we will now show a video of Saquon really speaking his playoff success and playoff career into existence right here.
Watching playoff football. A year ago, I put a tweet when I was on my couch watching playoff football that I got to find a way to get back in it. So I'm just happy to be here, and shout out to my teammates, and most importantly, we move on, and we get another home game, so that's big.
Yeah, you like those.
Yeah, for sure. It's amazing here. Got the best fans in the world, and look forward to next week.
And then if you guys were watching the game, you saw A.J. Brown reading a book on the sidelines, and so they had to press him after the game in the post-game press conference. I thought this was a meme when I first saw it, but after what he said in this video, I was assured wrong.
Why do you read it during the games, and what does it bring to you?
Man, it gives me a sense of peace. That's a book that I bring every single game. My teammates call it a recipe. Y'all got me on camera. Yeah. But that's not the first game. It got a lot of points in there. It's a lot of mental game, a lot of mental parts about it. And, but for me, the game is mental.
Why do you read it during?
That book is, how they started the Philadelphia Morning News today? All the anchors had that book. He just made this book probably become I don't know if it was a New York Times bestseller. I don't know, but I know this guy's about to that author is about to get paid again. And I looked up the book. I might be buying the book.
What's the name?
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you here a second, because somebody actually highlighted the section in which he read. I guess he took a picture of it. It's Inner Excellence. Train your mind for extraordinary performance. And the best possible life, written by Jim Murphy. It was published in 2020. All right, so
when you look up the book, the top stories is just AJ Brown, #1 bestseller after AJ Brown reads it.
And you know what? People gonna just buy it because of that. They're not gonna read the shit. They're not gonna do none of that. Everybody says, I actually like reading, so I'm going to buy it, and especially all these trips that I got to take on a flight. I'll read it, highlight it, and Yeah, so I'm I when as much as they say athletes are dumb, this is just something to highlight that again, I don't know why people say athletes are dumb. Like it's incredible the amount of information you have to retain, you have to learn and unlearn in active environments. But kudos to him. Damn, I wish I still had. I don't know where did I send it in the group chat? I don't know, but I'm mad about it because I was reading one of the quotes was actually pretty fucking good. Yeah, shout out to AJ for sharing that with everybody.
Yeah, it's my first time I ever seen somebody read a book on the bench. I thought it was some play call sheet that was in the form of a book or something, but I was wrong. It was an actual book. So we would get into the Sunday night football game down to the wire, down to a field goal. Commanders versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now, Tampa played at home in Raymond James. Man, that stadium looks electric, especially when they score and they let the cannons go. It looks so hard, but
Wait a minute, hold up. AJ only had one catch that game.
Let me go back.
Somebody put AJ Brown reading motivational self-help books on the bench during a game they are winning, but he only has one catch. It's quite possibly the most wide receiver thing I've ever seen. It's still good, but that's fucking funny. That's hilarious, though.
Yeah, one catch, 10 yards, 3 targets. But the Commanders made history again, and in a similar fashion than what they did before. So if you guys did not know, this is the Commanders' first playoff win since 2006. So it has been a total of 6,945 days since they got a playoff win. And do you all know who the team they beat in 2006 to get to the playoffs was? The Tampa Bay Bucks. So they repeated history with this one, and I just thought that was hilarious. Had to add that in the podcast as well. But Baker played his heart out, had a tough run. This game was down to the wire. And before we get into some video clips, I got some pictures to share with you also. Jaguars' own Brian Thomas Jr. was there to support his college teammate, along with Malik Neighbors. You know, they had to pop out, take that little 3-hour ride to Tampa to support Jaden Daniels. And that support, it ended up paying off because the Commanders resulted in a 3-point dub in this game. And before we get James's opinion on this game, we got some videos to share with you all, some heartfelt videos of this game and a smooth run by Baker Mayfield. So what you all are about to see is the Washington Commanders play call of the game, and you can see how hype the organization was to get this. And if you guys didn't get a chance to see this field goal, man, y'all are in for a treat. So I'm about to blow this up and share it with you all so you can all enjoy this video.
Gonzalez looking to send Washington into the divisional round. Snap good, hold down, kick on its way.
That guy was stressing like a motherfucker too on the sideline before that.
The Cardiac Commanders are the Clutch Commanders. They do it again. We'll see you in Detroit.
And Giant Gonzalez kicks in the door and kicks us into the second round of the playoffs.
By the way, I called that just for anybody. I said they were going to win, so. But just for those who are watching, I can pick NFL games. Don't ask me about college, though.
Yeah, shout out to them boys and Washington, the Commanders. And we got this run by Baker Mayfield, though. Even though he took the L, it won't go unnoticed because, man, he was giving them the work with this run right here.
Certified fullback.
Certified. And so we will see how certified he really is with this play. Get off me. Man. What a play by Baker, though. But, man, Bobby Wagner, man.
Yeah.
Sucks to see it, man. But Bobby Wagner ain't worried about this because they're not going to Cancun this
He
weekend.
gets the opportunity to do it again. Get ran over again.
Yep. And there's a good chance. I don't know if he'll definitely get juked out by Jameer. But
oh yeah.
But man, I don't know with this bracket we will show you guys right here. This is the updated bracket for the rest of the playoffs. Obviously, the Rams and Vikings play tonight. So I will share this with you all. And please in the chat, let us know what you think. Winners, losers, bets, anything like that, so we can get this thing started. So the Houston Texans will play the Kansas City Chiefs. Commanders will play the Lions. Ravens will play the Bills. And then the Eagles will play the winner of tonight's game versus the Vikings in LA, which is at a neutral site in Philadelphia because of the LA fires.
You mean Arizona?
Oh, my bad. In Arizona because of the LA fires. I know they recently came out and said the death toll went up to about 24 people. So condolences to those family members. But James, who you got and who you picking, man?
Well, I had the Rams winning tonight, so that was before the fires. They can't go home, so they gotta have something. Sometimes that's a little added motivation. After that, though, I would pick the Ravens, Chiefs, Lions, Eagles next week. That would be my picks.
No, I can't wait to bet on this game for sure. To bet on these games because I will definitely go with those picks. You said the Chiefs, Lions. You said the
Ravens, and Philly's winning regardless of whoever wins tonight.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know how this game is gonna go tonight. I'm excited to see how they're gonna play at this neutral site. I know that definitely has some impact in the playoffs for sure. But even though it's still on the West Coast, it's still in Arizona, not too far from Cali. So excited to see how much Rams fans are about to pop out, especially after the wildfires and things of that nature. So we'll see how the stadium looks. But yeah, those are our picks. And man, the NFL playoffs, you never know what could happen. I mean, I agree with James's picks. I second those picks for sure. I see Kansas City doing their thing, Lions definitely doing their thing, and the Ravens. I think Lamar will show Josh Allen who he is. And what do you expect from Lamar from this performance? I know they matched up in week 4, if I believe, and Lamar gave them the business. I think they beat them 34-14, if I'm not mistaken. But what do you expect from Lamar as he plays in this playoff game against Josh Allen?
I think Lamar's going to use his legs. I think he's going to just show why he's the complete package. You have to account for Derrick Henry, and it just really all depends on the weather. But I think the weather, I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Lamar will show up for this game for sure. And I really want them to win the championship. If I had to pick any team, I definitely got to go with Lamar. And I really hope he can get it done. Seeing him and Derrick Henry get a ring, that would be so dope to see. So now we will transition into our Big Games BS segment. We only have one post for this segment, and then we'll wrap it up. But chat, let us know if you are fans of the boxing world. There has been big news regarding the boxing world, and I'm super excited that I can finally get to see this on the TV screen or your laptop screen or your phone screen. But the Canelo versus Crawford fight is scheduled. Yes, I repeat, it is scheduled. So it is scheduled for September 2025 in Las Vegas. James, are you a boxing fan?
Love it.
You love it? Okay. Yeah. Tell me what you think about this.
I think this is amazing that they finally made this happen. Bud is both of these guys are heavy punchers. They're not going to duck each other. It's going to be an exciting fight. I'm going to try to figure out how to get myself there. I hope it's. I already know what day it's going to be. More than likely, it's probably going to be Labor Day weekend. So that fucking sucks. But yeah, I think we need more fights like this. And if Canelo, I like how they always say Canelo's a roid boy, and these stuff like this. But I like where I'm excited about this. So, yeah.
Super excited about it. I'm not too much of a boxing connoisseur. Nonetheless, I have seen Bud Crawford. I've seen his knockouts and things of that nature. I'm more familiar with Bud Crawford than Canelo, but huge fan of Crawford. I know he's a champion in 3 weight classes, if I'm not mistaken.
Canelo's similar. Both for like Canelo's. I found out about Canelo's only loss was the money. Yeah. And everybody joked that he was too young, but they were saying Floyd was old and whatnot. And Canelo's a bigger boxer, but anybody who got shot and drove themselves to the hospital, they shot in the head, if I remember correctly, and drove himself to the hospital. Like, you can't beat that guy. Like, ain't no punches stronger than bullets, bro. And he from Nebraska, and he doesn't do all the big entourages and all the other crazy stuff. He's just there to whoop ass. And but Canelo's consistently dominated that the divisions that he's been in. He's a little older now, but shit. It's gonna be like Canelo's powerful. I think Bud's a little quicker. But that's what Canelo is. But I think it's gonna be interesting. I think a lot of times people get, like, if you go watch any kind of boxing live, it's exciting. You don't go for, like, you don't have to be there's people who are like, I'm purist, I like this and that. No, man, just go enjoy the vibes and watch violence. Yeah.
We got some breaking news here. Shout out to Luke for inspiring me to go on my phone and check this out. But staying in boxing right quick before we go to the biggest news segment, Tyson Fury declares retirement after he lost to Usyk. And if you're a Tyson Fury fan,
he lost to Usyk?
Yeah, he lost that fight. So yeah, he's declaring retirement. But the Cowboys are moving on from Mike McCarthy. And it is valuable to note that Jerry Jones didn't allow Mike McCarthy to interview for the Bears head coaching job, only to fire him days later. Man, he's ruthless, my guy. He's ruthless, but get well soon to Mike McCarthy as you are without a job, even though I'm not surprised that if you will get picked up sooner rather than later. But, man, are you surprised, James, that Mike McCarthy got let go of his role as we close out the show?
No. They've been talking about it, but again, that's one of those situations where you're mid, and is it going to get better? And the problem is Jerry. Yeah. Like, as long as it doesn't matter who they hire, as long as Jerry's there, it's going to be an issue. Yeah, Gerald.
No, like, Gerald.
Oh man, that's worse.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to know when to step away, man. Just be rich, man. Like, but again, it's not about. That's why I always say, at a certain point, being a billionaire is not about making money or any of that other stuff. It's about power and control and the idea that you can own people. So that's why when they always talk about the racist dude that sold the Clippers, Sterling. Oh, you just gave him $1 billion. He bought him for this, and now he made him triple his money. That man doesn't give a fuck about that money. What is he gonna buy? That man cares that he no longer has the opportunity to own Negroes. And when you take away Jerry's opportunity to own Negroes, that's when it's gonna. I mean, there's other people too, but this will go because I guess Jerry heard that the Raiders aren't really interested in Deion, and he's like, this might be my opportunity to strike while it's hot, and we could guarantee Shedeur is a top 5 pick. Which will, I don't even know where the Cowboys pick, but they'll do whatever they need to do to get him there, which again creates the greatest love story from a father to a son since Jesus and God. Well, that didn't get everybody the bag. At this point, we got to know what he is. I've told y'all what Deion is for years. But like at this point, it's just like, man, listen, who wouldn't do that for their child, sacrifice for their child if they knew they could do this? Nobody thought he was a power 4 quarterback. So he went through the rigmarole to make him a power 4 quarterback. And now he'll make him a top 5 pick. And then he'll draft his other son, the one he doesn't even like, just because he's a good dad like that. Like, we know he doesn't like Shiloh. But Shiloh will get a job too. And now Junior will become the director of media relations with no experience for the Cowboys if he gets that opportunity. So kudos. Wait a minute. I could go to both? Bama's the 30th, August 30th. Damn, we playing on a Saturday? Some whole shit. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So we only having one day. Well, cool. That's one day. That's only one day I got to plan events and shit. But shit, I may be trying to get credentialed for that Crawford Canelo fight. But yeah, so but good. Kudos to Deion. Kudos to Jerry. Yeah, that was it. Oh shit. Appreciate everybody for chopping it up with me. We being here on this day. Check out the channel. We got content coming up for the prep athletes on between Den Media Group and Big Games Gridiron. We'll have more stuff from Miami coming up this weekend as well. On that note, you guys have a great Monday. Stay warm, stay dry. If you're in the Jacksonville area, wherever you're at, we'll see you guys on Wednesday.